My name is Tyler Roike. I'm here with my co-host Jimmy Doolin. You're listening to ABC's Agent Broker Conversations, where we talk all things real estate. And Jimmy, what's new in your world?
Oh man, I don't know. Just plugging along. Excited to see this summer starting to develop. Sales are up. I saw my team. I think we have 70 pendings right now, which was pretty good numbers. I was happy about that. We're coming up on the anniversary of our team at the end of this month, so excited to celebrate 1 year. Fun to start with zero in June of 24 and be 2025 and, on the team roughly, I don't know, probably 80. And then, another 30 or so that aren't on the team in rev share. So I don't know, all very positive, just kind of enjoying that and continuing to work forward. And I think there's lots of great opportunity out there.
That sounds like it's all your growth.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I saw we were 46th through May in terms of units for EXP, 80th or something in terms of volume. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited. We're leading the state of Indiana, so that's good. Lots and lots of luxury transactions going on with us. I mean, we've probably had 10 transactions on our team north of 3 million.
Oh wow.
So
That's that's awesome.
that doesn't hurt. I got the Real Trends verification, so there will show up on the national list in terms of teams. But I mean, they're doing 2024, which we only had half of the year, so we won't show up in any real strength there. But hey, it's nice to know that even with 6 months of the year, our production still put us up there on the top 250 teams or whatever it was that I think it's 250. I can't swear to it. Whatever Real Trends monitors, I thought that was pretty exciting. Maybe it's the Real Trends 500. Anyway, there's when you look at some of those guys that are, some of those teams are doing a couple $1 billion in sales. They're big teams.
Yeah, that's massive. Well, congrats on a stellar first year.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. How about you? What's going on in your world?
Oh, just dialing some things in, from a system standpoint, but progressing every single week. I mean, I'm basically just working on. I don't know that automating is the right word, but just making it to where I don't have to spend time on, like, if it's something I have to do time and time again, I'm just working to get a system in place where I can click a button and have it done, rather than have to take the time to sit down and do this, that, the other. So and that really that kind of came about, especially with recognizing about a month ago, just kind of it finally clicked with me with all this AI stuff. And so I've been putting some things together, with that. And but yeah, just building out my systems, my sequences, with certain contacts. And I'm just putting a new thing into play every week. It seems in the past month, like, for example, I mean, the best that I've ever done to stay communicative to my organization is utilize Workplace. The only problem is not everyone uses it. So, which I hate.
Which is unfortunate, isn't it? Such a great.
It is. It is, yeah. But I mean, the tightest knit part of my community, they all use it. So staying in touch with them is pretty simple. But we're talking out of, like, call it 250 people. How many is that really that sees stuff I share on a regular basis? Probably about 50 or 60. So what I started to do is, a weekly newsletter, and I kind of took that away from the mastermind we were both at. Something that was shared there. And so that's something I implemented, and I just launched the first one this week. I gave my whole organization a heads up. Hey, I'm bringing some added value to the table. You're going to get weekly updates from me. And then like, it's literally the same stuff I would post on Workplace, just instead it's in one simple email instead of, and I was reflecting on like, darn, I take time like every week to make all these posts on Workplace, and then I'll only have like best case scenario 50 people see it. Well, shoot, let me just send it all in an email to my whole organization, and then make it in more bite-sized chunks. So like, for instance, instead of one-off post saying, hey, this thing is happening tomorrow, I'll just have a calendar. Hey, here's the key things happening this week. Here's a link to everything. Boom. And that's front and center in it. And then, same with all the resources. But the biggest thing in my mind, that personally excites me about that is I'm keeping the attraction resources front and center too. I'm like, hey, here's the production stuff. Here's the attraction stuff. And I think I'm going to make it easier for people to remember, like, hey, how do I do that? Or how do I book a call with Tyler to get someone in front of him? It's like, that's going to be like there every week for them to see. So I'm hoping that causes a few more people in my organization to realize, oh, shoot, I can click this button and get one of my people connected with Tyler to have a conversation about joining us. And so that's kind of part of the point of that. I'm just like thinking, I'm like, well, shoot, if that translates into another 20, 30, 50 calls a year, however many it is, like, that's going to help things for sure. So, that's just one example though. That's what I implemented this weekend. I got that all set up and going, and got my first one sent out right when we hopped on the call here. So
nice. Well, good for you. Congratulations. I know we send out a weekly, we do it via text instead of email, but we send out a weekly text with the things that we think that everybody in our organization needs to know about, whether they're on our team or just in our downline group. Just trying to bring the most important things to the forefront. We look at the training calendar each week and kind of pick something and put it in there so that they don't get overwhelmed. We've had a lot of agents recently inquiring, kind of our middle producing agents inquiring about being better sponsors. So we've been covering the sponsorship toolkit on how to properly sponsor somebody and assist them and help them grow and succeed. So yeah, it's been same kind of thing, but we use text. So
is that something? And I shared the toolkit too in my email under the attraction resources. But is that something you're sending people, or like when you say covering it, like what exactly do you do?
So first, if I have somebody that I'm going to put under an agent, then I will send them the toolkit and say, please review this and be prepared to help an agent in your downline, because I've got a candidate that I think I want to have you sponsor. Because anybody that I get that's brand new, I'm putting under somebody else. I'm putting a little buffer between me and the new agent. So if they're brand new and have no experience, I'm not sponsoring them. I'm having somebody else. I'm requiring, and I say requiring because I got to use that word pretty loosely, but I'm giving that to the agent that would potentially sponsor them. And I'm asking them to go through it all and be prepared and take all the classes, watch the videos, ask questions of me, etc., so that they can best accommodate the agent coming in. So that's kind of my steps. I'm trying not to sponsor any new people and only experienced people, because I think that is, I don't want to be the front line of every transactional question. I want them to have somebody who's actively in the industry out selling homes more so than me. I certainly understand how to sell homes, but if there's somebody who's out there practicing every day, I think they're better suited, and it puts a little buffer between me so I can stay focused on doing what I need to do, which is grow the organization. Since that's my main focus is, helping agents either build their business or building the organization as a whole. So those are the two things I do. So by putting an agent in between me and the beginner, it allows me to stay focused on what I need to do.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
yeah, and then using the toolkit as kind of their first step. So that, and then I broke my organization down into new, so somewhere $0 to $1 million in production. Those agents are on one Zoom. 3 million or 1 million to 3 million are on another Zoom, and then 3 to 6 they're on another Zoom. So those meetings I'm doing, the newbies I do once a week. Everybody after that, the 1 to 3 I'm doing twice a month, and then everything above that I'm doing once a month, and kind of letting them drive the topics of those meetings. And the 1 to 3 group said, "Hey, we want to learn how to be better sponsors." So it sent everybody the sponsorship toolkit. And I plan on talking that over with them at our next meeting, with the idea of I'm trying to bring specifically what the group is needing or looking for. So breaking the people into the groups that have, because then there's going to be, the next group is going to be, how do I get to Icon? The 1 to 3s are capping. The 3 to 6s are iconing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's working out pretty well. It also allows me to touch everybody in an organized fashion, so that it's not totally lost on that somebody didn't hear about it, or somebody didn't get a chance to learn about this subject or that subject by doing it as a group. And then with Fixer that we both have, it summarizes it afterwards. So after the Zoom, it summarizes it and creates next steps. I send it to everybody and then send them the information, like last time was sending them the toolkit. So it tells me what needs to be done, and voila, we get it done. Now, the really exciting news is I hired somebody. So kind of 1 year anniversary, we will have a new full-time employee coming on. That's going to be great, because this person's going to be focused on doing a lot of the stuff that Tamara and I are, but freeing Tamara up is going to, Tamara being my wife, is going to create a scenario where she can, be more hands-on with individual agents, call them, talk to them, see how she can help them, see where they are, what's their current challenge, how do we get you past this challenge. And so by having a staff person here working the daily grind, that's going to free us up quite a bit.
That's really awesome. Exciting things to look forward to, it seems like.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want everything that Tamara and I do to be totally mobile. I don't want us to be locked in ever to a space. And right now, Tamara sits at the front desk at our office, and she's there to help agents as well as the consumer and anybody else, and that also obligates her to be here. So the goal is to get it so that neither of us have any, no, we don't have concrete boots on. We're mobile. We're out and about. Ideally, we'll take this show on the road at some point in time and tour around and meet people and grow our organization by doing that, by meeting in little coffee shops and restaurants and parks and all around the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it seems like the way to go right there.
Well, I mean, it is, if that's something that you would enjoy doing, right? It's not for everybody, but for somebody like me who would enjoy traveling around and meeting strangers, and we can both do what we do. I can deal doctor with an agent anywhere, and I can do my agent attraction stuff anywhere, and Tamara can assist agents from anywhere, because it's a phone call, it's a text, it's reaching out. So anyway, pretty excited about all of that stuff as it begins. The employee has got, or future employee's got some personal things called a wedding coming up. So from a timing perspective, we're kind of tiptoeing into getting her on board. So she's just going to be a little part-time here and there for a while, but by into third quarter, we should be ramped up to full time.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, what else is on your radar here? In the week ahead, as far as things happening in and around the world of real estate.
I've been selling a lot of real estate lately, which is kind of crazy. I think I'm already over 10 million in production for a guy who doesn't sell real estate. I think I've had 5 transactions and it's north of 10 million. So that's not been too shabby.
Yeah, that's pretty good numbers for someone who doesn't sell real estate.
Right. So it's just past clients, people that I've worked with in the past, and they want my help again. And it's just I don't know what is the significance with this year. And the only thing I can tell you is that I proclaimed this was going to be my year, that 2025 was going to be a great year for Clubhouse RE and the Doolin family, and voila, as I say it happens. So that's the only thing I can tell you as to why all these clients have come out of the woodwork and wanted to do deals, is because I said it was going to happen. Otherwise, I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen. Maybe there's some consumer confidence building with changes in the country. I mean, but I don't know. I don't know what's driving it all, but it certainly has come to fruition, and I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, you spoke it into existence. I mean, I think it goes a long way as a leader to really put that out there as far as what you envision, and so that people have something bigger that they can latch on to. Because I think it probably would be a lot different if you shared that you were pessimistic about things. Maybe people wouldn't be putting their best foot forward in that case, but I think that goes a long way, just what you put out there into the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's just been it's been pretty phenomenal. Again, it's not like it's 40 units, so it's not, but it is a lot in terms of volume. It's lots of transactions at high dollar amount. So that's certainly. And it's fun too, because it's dealing with people that you have relationships with, and we all know that's the most fun that you can have in real estate, is either working with an agent that or working with a consumer that and like. So when you're working with people that you enjoy working with, it's a real bonus. So yeah, that's been fun. Otherwise, the Fixer is kind of interesting, because as I work on my agent attraction, I use Courted, as you know. So I send out my first email introducing myself and talking to them via Courted. Then my Fixer is, if they don't respond, my Fixer is creating follow-up emails to the email that I sent. So it wasn't something that I actually anticipated, but it's worked out that way. So my initial email is going out through Courted. It's trying to instigate some sort of conversation and connection. But then there's a follow-up email. So when I log into my computer, come in the mornings, like this morning, I had 24 pre-written responses, and they were all to people that I had reached out to on, I don't know if they were Thursday or Friday, whatever. They had reached out to them last week, and I hadn't heard from them. So I sent out 24. Then I got on a Zoom with somebody at 9 o'clock. And when I got off that Zoom at 9:40, I looked at my email and I had 27 more these were people from the next day that I had emailed and hadn't responded. So and if they did respond, it was a response to their response. So it was either a follow-up to no response or a response to their response, which I think that's pretty freaking cool, because that would not have been an email I would have initiated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like it knows to follow up for you. It remembers. You don't have to tell it to. It just has things prepared. It knows you sent a message on this date, and then at some point later you get a a follow up reminder like, hey, we got this follow up message ready for you. Yeah,
It's
it's pretty
pretty.
sweet.
That's 50 plus follow-ups this morning that were pre-written, that all I did was click send. And the truth is, AI is not perfect, and I get all that, but there's no reason for me to waste a bunch of time going through and proofing these things and making sure they're perfect, because it's not the perfect message that gets the return call. It's the message at the perfect timing that gets it. So just following up, most people don't follow up with anything. So just simply following up puts me in a different category than 9 out of 10 other people. They're not threatening, because I'm not a threatening person. I'm not aggressive in my nature. I'm more laid back and conversational, but I'm just tickled to death to have something like that follows up. I do have a question for you. With this new CRM choice, have you begun your research to figure out what you're going to do?
I need to do some research this week because it's going to be the topic we talk about at my weekly team meeting. But no, I haven't done a whole lot other than yeah. As far as I'm hearing, it sounds like 2 of the 3 are the best choices. Whatever that means, but yeah, I need to look into it a little bit more so I better understand like what the actual distinctions are between each of the 3.
Which 2 have you heard the most pros about?
Bold Trail and Lofty, I think. I think those are the most premium ones, and then I think Close, I think, is maybe less of a premium one. That's my understanding.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know anything about. I mean, obviously, Bold Trail is KV Core. After some revisions, some additional AI and agent feedback. So that one should be, I would imagine, should be really good, because KV Core was already an extraordinary product. So now if you just make it better, I haven't heard anything about Follow Up Boss yet. I know that they're supposed to be working on it, and but I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, nothing yet. I'm sure we'll see an announcement whenever that's all solidified, if anything.
Yeah, I'm excited about all of it coming forward. I know this is the month you've got classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, where they cover all of those things. So plenty of good, opportunity to learn and see what's going on. Can get in there and figure out which one best suits you. I mean, no excuse to not spend a little bit of time and understand which one of these products is best for you. Because honestly, the best CRM is the one you'll use. So it doesn't really matter which one, as long as you use it.
Yeah, that's the big key right there. But yeah, it's pretty neat to have some great options too, as far as like truly world class systems, like as I understand, Bold Trail and Lofty both are. So
yeah, I think they're going to be good. I am working on taking the team sponsor, or team
Leader Academy.
leader. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that will be good.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I think so. I'm unfortunately, it is. I missed the last one, but I do plan on taking that, because I'm interested in seeing what they're doing with respect to that, and how I can, grow with it, etc. I know they use EOS, and EOS is a pretty amazing platform in terms of organizing and running a organization. Just it kind of cuts to the chase and gets the most important stuff to filter up to the top, so that you keep moving forward at a good clip and not get stuck in the minutia.
Yeah, I've heard quite a few successful businesses in different industries operate under that philosophy or system, or however you would describe it.
Yeah, I used it with my last brokerage with my 10 offices. So it was, but I had 32 staff. So having them all on that platform kept everybody accountable and kept the important stuff at the top so that we were working on what was most important to us, not just what somebody popped into their head and thought was important. So it prioritized everything. It'll be interesting to see running EOS with such a small group, but I could see it being very, very beneficial, especially with team leaders, satellite team leaders. I could see it being real beneficial for that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more after you go through it, especially.
Yeah. It's not cheap. It's $2,500.
That's a bargain though, compared to if you like hired your own coach, though, right?
Yeah, you do get some coaching with it. Coaching on using the EOS system. But yeah, it's I'm sure that there is good value in it. I'm not suggesting that there's not. I'm just saying it does have a barrier of entry.
Yeah, makes sense.
For a lot of people. But are you all registered for Miami?
No, I'll get registered though. I'll be there. That's coming up. I think it's in October, right?
Yeah.
So still a little ways away, but yeah, you'll be seeing me and the crew there.
Yeah, I've got to. I'm all registered for it. I need to find a hotel. I haven't done that part yet, so that's kind of my next step, is finding a suitable housing for the Doolin clan.
Yeah, there's a lot of options. I think they got like 12 or 20 hotels that you could pick from, even on the site.
You mean that are affiliated with the?
Well, there's not like a. I don't believe that there's like, because the event's not at a hotel, right? So it's at the convention center. So I don't think there's like technically a host hotel. I think it's just a bunch of nearby hotels.
Yeah, that's. I thought. So there's literally hundreds of choices to just within all different price ranges and brands and stuff like that. So we're Marriott, so I just look for stuff that's on the Bonvoy app where I can stay and get more points towards those retirement when you slow down and you still have status. So when you walk in there, they treat you really well. I like that stuff.
There you go.
So anyway, I'm super excited about Utah next year, and I'm also, because I've never been, so I'm really excited about going there. But I'm also very, very excited about going to Paris for the European one. I think we're intending to do that as well, seeing that as a neat opportunity to go meet other people in other countries that are also on the platform and just kind of get a take for what they're doing.
Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be quite the experience. And when is that? That's later this year or when? Next year?
No. European. It's the European EXPCon, and it is in Paris next year. So I'm excited about that. I haven't registered or anything like that for it, but I intend to. And I intend to go. Any excuse to get to Paris is a good excuse. So if you can combine that with work. Have you ever been to Paris?
No, haven't been to France at all.
It's I hear people complain about it and say that the French aren't very nice or whatever. I've never had that experience. I have found it to be a delightful place. So I would highly recommend you go to the EXPCon in Paris. I'm super excited about Utah because I've, again, never spent any time there, and I think that's probably a pretty cool place. It's an unusual one to have a conference. I'm surprised.
Is it?
Utah, it seems unusual to me. I guess in my 35 years of real estate, I've never had a conference in Utah. So I guess that's why it seems unusual, because it's just never happened to me.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know.
I
I've
haven't,
never really been, so
I guess they probably haven't announced the location, because for most agents, they're going to hear about the Utah at EXPCon this year. So most folks probably don't even know that that's where it'll be at this point.
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we kind of get some advanced insight on these things.
Well, it's good to participate, right? It's good to invest a little time and energy and resources and be in the know. It's interesting because, you know, I've had some agents approaching me about wanting to grow, and the first thing I'm saying is, first of all, I know if you want to grow and you want to build a rev share with EXP, I think the first and most important thing you can do is understand EXP.
Mm-hmm.
Take the time, look at the materials, log into the platforms, make sure that you understand how to use everything. Because if you don't, then how in the world can you explain properly to somebody something that you don't, how to use yourself, or you don't know those answers? So at any event, that's been my advice. Hey, I just thought of something that I hadn't told you that is super basic, but for me is like game changer. My name on my birth certificate reads James Edward Doolan Jr. I have spent my life writing James Edward Doolan II and going by Jimmy Doolan. So I'm in Nashville at a sales rally. And at that sales rally, I'm talking to one person with corporate from Indiana that I know really well, and then another lady whom I don't know very well. And I made the comment that it is so frustrating because everything comes at me and says James. So I know why I was talking about it, because when I walked across there for Icon, they call me James. And my name tag says James, and I go by Jimmy. And then, so the more times your name tag says James, the more people start calling you James. And I just made the comment. I said, if it wasn't for the fact that I like EXP so much, being called the wrong name would frustrate the hell out of me, and would be a reason for an agent to consider leaving. Just, if you can't get my name right. Anyway, this lady said, "Oh, I can get that fixed for you." And I said, "Well, if you can, that's fabulous. I have asked everybody under the sun, because every message I get says James, at James, at James, at James. I'll be damned if the other day I logged in and everything now says at Jimmy."
Oh, how about that?
I was absolutely in heaven. Point
That's
being,
awesome.
going to things and meeting people, you never know when you're in the room with the right person who can fix your problem. And that's exactly what happened. So I am just absolutely tickled to death to say that my name is now in EXP as Jimmy. And when you message me on work chat, it says at Jimmy. I just love that. So little things in life, Tyler. Very, very little things.
Yeah, that's so now your name tag is gonna say the right name.
I think it is. I will see, right? Time will tell. If it doesn't, I will take a picture of it, and you can bet your rear end who I'll send it to, because that lady was kind enough to care that it bothered me.
Yeah, that goes a long way.
Absolutely. Well, any closing words of wisdom from you, my friend?
No, just got to keep building and persisting with everything. So that's the journey we're on. But yeah, things are shaping up in a good way, I'd say. So
Awesome. Well, until next week, make it a great week, everybody. And we appreciate you listening. If you would, please like, share, comment. We'd love to have your topics. We'd love to have your feedback. And hell, we'd love to have you as a guest. Feel free to challenge us on anything. We've got opinions. They don't necessarily always mean they're right, but they're ours. We'll still have them. You can have yours, and we'd love to hear yours. So anyway, we're on here each and every week having a conversation about agent broker stuff, and we'd love to have you a part of it. Until next week, have a great week. See you soon.